Hey guys, this is Dave from netcodesource.com, and I'm going to be doing some videos for the Razer Academy explaining everything from the basics to the more advanced aspects of Counter-Strike Source. So without any wasting time, let's just get started. So the first thing I want to discuss is positioning. Now how you're going to position yourself is really going to depend on how your team is playing as a whole and where you want like the strengths of your setup to be. So to start off, I'm just going to go and explain a simple B bomb site hold on a map that everyone's really familiar with, Dust 2. So this is going to be something that you can run as a default. You can run it a lot of rounds unless you want to deviate from it and put your strength somewhere else. But if you do this, the B bomb site is going to be held pretty strongly. So what you're going to do is you're going to have a rifle supporting an op, and the opper, who has a sniper, is going to come through the window. And he's going to post for a bit, and they're going to watch for the rush. Now, the rush is just when they're going to come very, very quickly. But we're not really going to worry about that because it usually doesn't happen. Usually the players will come later into the bomb site after they've worked it and scouted out the map a bit, and the terrorists have gained some kind of map control. So the sniper is going to go, and he's going to try to get set up. And what he's going to do is he's going to maybe flash back there, then jump, do all this. And ideally, he's going to want to get back here. Now, a lot of people like to post here, but what I'm going to talk about is a setup where the guy simply plays right here and waits until they actually get into the bomb site. Now, you have 2 smoke grenades, so you're going to want to use those to help delay the tease as much as possible and help you out. Probably throw those at about 1 minute and then have your other rifler re-smoke it by about 1 minute. Now, the other player is going to support him. And once that opper is able to get back there, he could help him by throwing a nade, maybe, and playing up close, and maybe even tossing a flashbang. And now once that player is supported, I want him to play outside here, and what he's going to do is he's going to flash as soon as the opper back there calls that they're coming in. And when he flashes, he's going to flash off here, it's going to pop in the air, and it's going to blind anybody around here, and it's going to blind anybody pushing him. So anybody in any of these areas is going to be blind. Now, after he does that, I'll pick up the rifle so I can show you a bit better. He's going to go right here and kill anybody that's trying to go towards him on the platform. Okay? So that would be the rifler's job, and then the opper's job would be to try to kill anybody near the car. Another option the rifler can have is throw a flash like this, then maybe throw another flash like that, and then he can actually come into the site and try to frag as many people as possible. So this is a really basic setup that you could do. And I think it's a good example of positioning, and I think it's a good example of someone supporting another player, where the rifler outside the site is essentially the opper who's stuck inside the site's support. Now, when you do this, you're probably not going to kill all 5 of them, but if you can kill 3 of the terrorists, and then you're set up in a 4v2 or a 4v3, the rest of your teammates should be able to take the round and win it. So I'm going to give you guys some examples of this, and show you guys what it's going to look like when some terrorists are trying to take it.
They're coming B, they're coming B, they're coming B.
Flashing him, flashing him. 1 down B. 1 in the smoke dead.
Now that we've talked about positioning, and I've given you a small example of how to support a player and work together with flashbangs, I want to talk a bit about communication. Now, good communication is essential in Counter-Strike, and it could be a really, really big factor. It's kind of like the X factor in a team. If 2 teams are pretty equal skill-wise, then communication and teamwork will usually result in who the winning team is going to be. So to further explain proper communication, I'm going to show you guys an example of how one person's words and communication to everybody else is going to completely change your entire setup and where everyone's playing. So I showed you a bit about how the B players are playing. Now I'm going to show you how a middle player is playing and what he's going to do. Now the middle player is going to be around here, and he's going to be spotting from when they can get catwalk control. And by getting catwalk control, I mean when they have this control of this area right here. Now teams usually take a little while to do it, and that's because they're weary of anybody playing on catwalk. So they'll bait flashes, they'll walk up slow, they'll smoke up mid, and they'll flash over mid. And by doing that, it's going to take them a little bit of time. So once they do secure control over it, that player in CT spawn is going to communicate that they can be up catwalk, and he's going to rotate out. And he's going to either play in CT spawn, or he's going to play maybe elevator boxes watching mid and supporting cat, or he's going to play in a site somewhere, either on the ramp or in goose. So he's going to completely change up his positioning. Now, the player outside B, once that player changes up his positioning and has to go to a site, cannot play outside B anymore because he's going to be way too vulnerable from middle because he doesn't have that teammate support there. So instead of playing inside B, his cue from when that guy says that catwalk is open, I'm leaving, I'm going to CT spawn or A site or whatever, is to go inside B. Now, you've got to remember that you still have these 2 smoke grenades, and that's very, very important. The rifler who's supporting is going to toss that smoke grenade. And now all of a sudden this opper, instead of posting like this, is peeking. Because the smoke grenade is going to give him a huge advantage over anybody trying to peek him and kill him. So the opper again will re-smoke when the smoke's fading. And the rifler, instead of playing outside B, is going to be spotting mid to B from here. And then he's going to throw a flashbang when he sees them come out. And then he's going to frag. Okay? Now, if they don't come out mid and they go through B first, his teammate's going to be calling it. And then he's going to come over here and he's going to flash over here and he's going to play very, very aggressive. Okay? Now you could switch it up a bit. You could have the rifler, since these smokes are down, you could have the rifler go here and watch the B tunnels, and then the opper can re-smoke. Or vice versa. Or you could and then if the rifler is behind first bricks, whoa, sorry about that. If the rifler is behind first bricks right there, the opper could be offing middle from window. So, not only does the communication affect how this player is playing once he calls that they have catwalk control, but it's affecting how the B players are playing. And I'm going to show you one more thing that it's affecting. It's affecting how the long A players are playing. So, until they have catwalk control, you're going to have 2 players long A. One's going to be here with an op, and one's going to be in pit usually. And then when they have catwalk control, this player, here I'll give myself an op, is going to rotate off long A, and he's not going to be here anymore. And he's not going to be supporting this player in pit. And now he is playing and watching catwalk from around the car. He might be around site, wherever he really wants to play. But once they have that catwalk control, not only are the B players reacting, but the A players are reacting as well. Everybody is reacting. So that is why communication is so important. If this player is really lacking on his communication and he doesn't let everybody know that catwalk is open and they could be up and running up to A site, and that middle is also exposed, the B player can die in the back a lot. The long player can die in the back when they run up to A site to shoot him in the back. And your whole team's going to suffer simply due to a lack of communication. Alright guys, that's about it for my first episode of the Razer Academy. I hope I brought you guys a bit of insight when it comes to positioning yourself correctly, supporting your teammates, and what proper communication can do for a team. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for episode 2. Bye.